Hello, everyone. My name is Mika. I'm the CEO of Leaders Tribe, a community of leaders who want to support each other to become better every day. And today I'll be explaining you the delegation matrix that you can use in your company to ensure that you use your time wisely as the CEO, as the leader of the team, and that you delegate as many things as possible, whatever your time, qualification of your employees, and your finances allow you to do. So we're starting with different categories of how you can understand what you can do with a task. First of all, you have the delegate option. Delegate means that it can be delegated with low effort. For example, if you have to answer emails and there is nothing complicated in those emails, you can actually give it to someone else who is already on your team, or to a freelancer, to a virtual assistant. Second, delegate to the manager. If you're already having a middle management structure, this option is a little bit more complicated because you need a manager, first of all, and then you're giving it to the manager, who is then taking it forward to the team, and then the manager is figuring out whom to give actually this task. And if the manager cannot find someone for the task, then the manager is doing it. And the manager is actually overlooking if the task is done. The manager is then reporting to you about the task, right? So as soon as you have a middle management system, if you're a CEO, if you have a COO, CMO, then if you have an idea, you're directly delegating it to someone who is responsible for the area you want the task to be in. Thirdly, educate. It means that it can be delegated after some education and quality assurance from your side. So I cannot just directly give it, as the task is not that simple, but I can work with a person. I can do it a couple of times with a person. For example, if you're having customer onboarding calls and it's a little bit more complex, then do it first with this employee, looking at how you're doing. Do it a couple of times so that the person understands how it is being done. Then let this person do it, and you're there and you're giving feedback. Do it also a couple of times, and then you can just let this person do it, and from time to time you can check if you want. But if you see that the things are getting done and the customers are happy, then just get your hands off it and just check the NPS, Net Promoter Score, of what the feedback of the customers is later on. For the onboarding, for example, you can include the question: how clear was the onboarding? How understandable were the things? How nice was the person who was onboarding them? Next one is overlook. It means delegate, but have a look from time to time. It can be yourself or the manager. So in comparison to the first one, where you don't even need to check, or you just check some metrics at the end of the month, this one means that from time that you're checking a little bit more often. So at least every week you're checking how it's being done, or sometimes you're going in and check. It's just a very subtle difference. But you will feel a task which is very crucial for your business, you might want to overlook it rather than just completely delegating and forgetting about it. External delegation is a very cool one. It means that something can be delegated to an external vendor, which means that it saves your time, and your time as a CEO is one of the most valuable resources that you're having in company, right? So if you're not having qualified people on your team for this specific task, for example, building a website is this thing that is very often delegated externally. You're just paying money, a couple of $1,000, and the person who is really professional in it is taking it forward, building the website, gives it to you. Then they're doing some maintenance from time to time, but you're having the website. You don't need to hire a website builder, UX designer, or whatever. They're just doing it for you, an external agency or just a freelancer on Upwork. So it's a good one to quickly delegate something that you're actually not so good at. Or what some people do, for example, for social media, they first hire a freelancer. This freelancer is working with their marketing team and is building up first the strategies, the stories, the storyline, sales process in terms of how are you warming up the audience, and so on and so on. And your team during this freelancer is working with you and bringing their knowledge into the team. The team is learning from this person, right? And at one point they can just take over, and then you don't need the freelancer anymore, right? It's clear for freelancers also that that's how it works for some companies. But some coaches or trainers or people who are freelancers by themselves, so for example, I'm doing most of the things myself in the business right now, except from some sales and marketing things. So for me, it would be useful to have someone who is constantly doing TikToks for me so that I don't have to do it, right? I delegated my TikToks to an agency for a period of time, and it works really well. Then automatize. This is actually the best one. If you can figure out the way to automatize something, then you don't need to do it anymore, right? Some people send every email one by one, while you can actually create automatization flows, automatized flows by MailChimp or any other similar mailing platform, SendGrid, Sendingblue, and so on, where when someone signs up through your newsletter, how you maybe have done with this video, then they automatically get an email with, hey, welcome to Leaders Tribe. How are you doing? Here, check out this welcome video and get the delegation matrix, right? So if you automatize things, then you don't need to do them anymore. You just need to track, optimize from time to time, but you don't need to do it by yourself anymore. That is perfect. This is what AI supports us in doing, right? Artificial intelligence. And there are a lot of systems, bots that can help you to automatize. And if you realize that it saves you more time and with less money than you've been actually investing based on your time and return on an ROE, then it makes sense to automatize. Or if it's something that you just don't like doing and don't find time in doing, right? And the last one, something that can only be done by yourself. So if you're, for example, a coach and you are actually coaching and you're the only one in your company who can deliver the service, and the fulfillment is on you, at least partially, then it's something that only you can do. At one point, if you grow even more, you can plan to delegate it to some coaches whom you've educated with your specific method. But in the beginning, you will be coaching by yourself, and this is something that only you will be doing. And for you to be able to focus on fulfillment solely, makes sense to delegate all of the other things as much as possible so that you can only focus on customers or sales calls if you're also involved in sales. But the idea is the more you delegate, the more freedom of mind, the more free time you actually have to think of your business, to work on your business and not to work in your business constantly. This is one of the most important switches in mindset that leaders who are building successful companies are having, in comparison to people who always stay a freelancer, just working by themselves, and who always just work on their own. I have clients who are saying, I'm doing already 12 to 20K per month, but I'm at the limit of my time capacity and I don't know what to do. I'm telling, well, what did you think of delegating some of the tasks at least? Right? If you're doing 12K per month, you can actually hire a full-time person and you will get more, 160 hours more per month for let's take an average salary of 3 to 3.5K here in Germany. And the person will be fully there for you and will be doing a lot of different things. And you, as the highest qualified person in your business, will be able to focus on things that only you can do. So customer acquisition and so on and so on and so on. So you will be bringing more money in and you will be doing partially the fulfillment, things that the person you've hired cannot do, like the fine tuning and so on. And that's the way to scale, right? At one point, you need to hire people, you need to delegate tasks so that you have more time to do things only you can do. So I hope this one is clear. Then some general notes. If time effort is more than 30 hours per week for a specific task, and if you're already at a good level of income, it makes sense to put a full-time person in it, right? And 40 hours and so on, everyone can work anyways around 30, in the best case, 30 very focused hours per week, right? If we're very honest, without all the social media distractions and so on. So if it's more than 30 hours of task per week, you can think of a full-time person. Keep the scalability in mind. If you're delegating some things, then delegate those that are the easiest to delegate, that require the lowest mind effort, so that you can focus on other things. Don't hire people too fast. Some people do this mistake. They open up the company and then they are hiring a lot of people. But if you're hiring a lot of people fast, it will most probably happen that people will be not doing so much. They will be not having very clear responsibilities. This delegation matrix will not be very clear. It will be very hard for you to scale very, very fast if you don't have a previous leadership experience. If you've done it many times already, then of course you will know how to deal with that. And connected to that point, freelancers are really one of the best ways to start delegating before you risk hiring someone full-time. Because if you're hiring someone full-time, you need to pay taxes from this person. You have a contract. In Germany, it's very tough to, very hard to fire people if they don't want to be fired. So it might get challenging if you hire 2-3 people. Then it's like 12 to 15,000 per month that you're having on solid expenses, on continuous expenses, and it will be quite challenging for you to fire them if you realize, oh, okay, our revenues dropped or we overestimated our income in the coming month. So starting with a freelancer whom you're just giving a project, someone hired you for a project, you're giving a percentage of the project to the freelancer. Freelancer is doing the things. You have time, and this time you would have used in the past for delivering the project, but now you have this time free that you've delegated to the freelancer. So now you can actually go into sales in this time. Ta-da! You have more time, you have more sales, you have more coming in, and you can hire 2, 3, 5 more freelancers who are delivering the projects, and then they deliver the project to you. And before sending it to the client, you're just checking, fine-tuning, doing some last parts. Yeah, what happens next? Here I explained to you how these different categories work. Here's just an example of let's say, of a marketing agency that is educating marketers and is doing marketing services. So individual consultations, 10 hours per week, it's done only by me. Here, you're just picking different categories from the ones that we've just discussed with you before. Here, you can add some comments. Here, for example, okay, marketing campaigns, we don't have here Stefan, apparently a marketing manager. We need a freelancer. We check it on Upwork here to whom it is delegated. But then I also want to educate someone. So I will be educating Stefan so that he can take it over, and I will bring him together with freelancers so that the freelancer, while his or she is working on the project, can also educate Stefan on how it's being done. Then Stefan will be competent for taking over later. Yeah, here it's helpful to put also the approximate time effort into it, because sometimes we're working on the things and we don't realize how much time it actually takes us, right? Some people are working 60, 70, 80 plus hour weeks and then realize, hey, actually this task is taking so much time. If I delegate to someone else, then I'm so much more free and I can actually enjoy my life again. So put the hours here. It will be very helpful for you to estimate and to see what actually needs to be delegated. And here in the status, you just put in what is the current status. If it's done, then it's done. If it's delegated to someone else, put delegated, automatized, need a hire, need a freelancer, in progress, or you're doing it yourself, right? And here to whom, so that you also have an overview of what is being done. What to do from now on, if everything else was clear, then just put here in the task responsibilities all the tasks that you're having currently in your company. If you have middle management already, you can also do this session with your middle management and just put a list of everything that's being done. And this is how you can help yourself to take more things off you. But this is also what you can help your leaders, your middle managers with, or even people whom you're having on the teams. Because people without management responsibility, they're doing things and sometimes they're doing useless things. So just do this thing with them as well, so that you see what they're actually doing. Tell them, hey, make a copy of it, send it to them and say, hey, can you please put all of your tasks in here and how much hours they're requiring per week. And then you will see that there may be some things that require a lot of time, but they're actually not as valuable. Looking at the Pareto principle, for example, 80% effort for 20% of results and vice versa. That's how I work with it. I hope it was more or less clear. If you want to dive deeper into it, here you have the link to my website. Just go there and book an informational call with me. I will be happy to discuss this in depth with you. And if you want to go on a transformational journey with your company where you have more time, you're more happy, you're more satisfied with your leadership role with your company, you achieve greater results, and your people love working with you and are very happy to come to work every day. They're intrinsically motivated, and you would also want to work for a company like that by yourself, then let's talk and start this transformational journey together. Thank you for being here with me today. It was Mika, CEO of Leaders Tribe, and looking forward to be talking to you. Follow on social media, Mika Winciowski on LinkedIn and mika.leadership.trainer on Instagram, or leaders-tribe tribe.de for the website where you can book me. Looking forward to see you, and have a great day and a lot of success in your business.